What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, coming at you today with a video not doing a daily trade review, but doing a weekend scan for some swing plays. Did a little studying this afternoon and did a little refreshing and sitting down to go through, see if I could find me some swing plays this week, and was working on another scanner. So I figured I would post it, maybe get some ideas, see if it may help some people, see if some people may have some ideas on what could make it a better scanner. But let's go ahead, let's get TraderView, or not TraderView, let's get ThinkorSwim pulled up. And we're just gonna go through, put some criteria on this scanner, and then we'll test it out and see how it compares to what I've been using. And we can kind of compare it to actually just our regular gap scanner. See what the results come back looking like. So we will, as always, get rid of what's in there now. I'm sure some of those we'll be using, but let's start from a clean palette and we're gonna jump right into it. First three are gonna be stock filters. As always, you want to filter out some of the noise, some of the stuff that doesn't really go towards your trading plan. So we're going to make this one, we're going to say last price was between 50 cents and $25. And next one's going to be, actually we'll put it here, but I have it blanked out for now. It's going to be market cap. It's blanked out right. And next one is going to be a stock again. Volume. We'll make the volume, let's say, let's go 100,000. 100,000 maxes, whatever the max. So those are our criteria for filtering out the stocks. So we see up here, it was 11,000. Once we put that volume in there with a minimum, we're down to 5,700. That's still a ton of stocks. And let's scan it and let's see what we 2,600 right now with just those stock filters. Now we will start filtering out for studies. So let's say study, and we are gonna go on this one, RSI. Find the RSI scan right there. And this one, we'll keep just the defaults in there. Let's scan that one and see what it does. So that knocked it down to 98. Doing good. Let's keep going. Gonna add another study. Now is where we will start scanning for stocks that are trading above moving averages. So we'll delete this one out. We'll go up to the condition wizard. I'm sorry, we'll go add condition. And we're going to say that the price, go with the close. We're going to say that this is going to be greater than or equal to, going to be a study. We're going to say, let's do the exponential moving average. We'll make this one 20. So we're saying that the close is greater than the 20 moving average. And, uh-oh. Okay. let's see. We'll change this because we want it on an hourly time. Scan again. So we got rid of 14 of them. It met that. So we'll add another filter. Gonna be I didn't want that, so let's delete. It's going to be another study. And we'll go with the pencil. Delete that one. We'll add a condition. Again, this is going to be a price. I'm going to say the close is greater than or equal to. Come up here to study. I'm going to do exponential. Actually, this one, I'm going to do simple moving average. Simple moving average. And this one is going to be the 200 moving average. That's what is most institutions use. That's going to be synced to the daily. So, yep, we got it synced to the daily. Now we'll add one more study. And this one is going to be to filter out. And actually, hold on. Let's scan it again. Let's see what we got down to. So now we're down to 71. Went from 2,600 down to 71. Let's add one more filter. It'll be another study. Again, click the pencil. Delete that out of there. Go to add condition. It's going to be a study. This is going to be, actually it's right there. Don't even have to type it in. ATR. So we want to kind of filter out some of those stocks that don't move much. We're going to say it's greater than, and you'll see that this is a very small number. We're going to say 10 cents. So it moves at least 10 cents per day. We were at 71. Let's scan it again. Now we're at 57. So we could work with 57. So come up here, save it. And of course, I always like to put a pound in front. Put 2 just so it falls onto my second set of scanners. And I'm going to call that swing scan less than 25. And we'll save it. All right. So now we're going to come over here to our watch list. Come to our first watch list and we'll find that one. Right there, number 2, swing scan. I should have put less. Did I put less than? Yeah, that should be less than. So I'm gonna go in there and change that. But here are our ideas. But before that, I just want to do, let's see. I'm gonna come here. This is our regular gap list that we use. Sorted by alphabet. And let's just take a look at like the first, let's say 10. Let's go with 10. And what I like to look for when I'm looking for my weekly swing plays is on all of my charts, I would like to see the stock in an uptrend. And we see here, all of these are in a downtrend. Let's go to the next one. Hourly is starting to be in an uptrend. The 4 hour, it's in a uptrend, but the weekly and the daily are in downtrends. And I don't think I mentioned the time frames I have on here. So the upper left is the hourly, upper right 4 hour. Those are like what you can call small time frames. And then below is the daily and the weekly. So these here are giving you your true bias. These here are somewhat giving you your entries if you find something on the weekly or the daily. So those are the charts that we're looking at. So we'll go to the third one. Pretty much everything's in a downtrend. Fourth one. These here are somewhat coming up, but we see this one fell off. That's after hours though. And that's on low volume. So this one here is still looking decent. The weekly, like it's setting up for a little breakout right there. And that's at the weekly high, so that's good. So that's a pretty good one. It's in a downtrend. Everything's in a downtrend except the hourly. And what that could tell you is that it's possibly starting to change its trend. So that's when you start looking on the daily and you look for things like that. It's breaking out of a trend. So let's throw a trend line on there. Go from there. Go from that point to, let's put it on that one so that it's connecting. And we see that it's breaking out of that downtrend. That's what the hourly is telling us. So the hourly is in a little uptrend. Everything else is in a downtrend. So this might have the makings to do something, but it's not there yet. Look at this one here. Nope, everything is somewhat in a downtrend. It's kind of consolidating on the daily. Downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. And we'll do one more, AR. AR is what I like to see. This is what I like to see. Uptrend, uptrend, uptrend on the weekly, uptrend on the daily. And on my daily, so when I initially did my moving averages, I made it easy for me to remember. Red, white, and blue. So red, 20, 50, 200. When those are stacked on top of each other like that, that's a good thing. This was like an excellent entry way over here when those crossed. And I got this market price on here on Webull. Webull gave me like 4 of these stocks for free. And that's what they gave them to me at. So I just tracked it on here. I ended up selling them for $20. So I made 100% on those 4, but look at it now, it's up to 33. But so that's what I like to see. But now let's go ahead, let's change this over to that watch list that we just made the scanner for. And let's start looking at these. Actually, oh, I hate I didn't go up a little higher. I think I will. Hold on one sec. We're going to go back to this scanner. We're going to increase this up to 35. Let's see how many. So now we're up to 70 ideas. The reason I did that, because I want to see if AR is going to get captured on here. Let's save it. Let's save it. And let's save it. Bam. Look at that. AR is on there. Good deal. So let's start looking at these real quick, though. Uptrend, 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 uptrend. That's good. That's what you want to see. Only thing now is we look for a pullback to get an entry. So, or it may be in a pullback while we're looking at it. But now I start looking for entries if I could find an idea. This one here is in an uptrend, but we see that it dipped down on the weekly chart and it's grinding its way back up. So we know once it get to about here, that's still a good $3 worth of room, that it may run into a little resistance there. Look at AMX. AMX is looking good. It's in an uptrend. Again, we're just looking for an area now to get into the trade. Look at that one though. That's an ugly candle right there. That was after hours and it just tanked. But this is what we like to see. We like to see the moving averages stacked. Red, white, and blue. In my case, just here in the States. So a little patriotic moving averages there. And this is the pullback that I talk about that I want to see. But this needed to make a higher than that. But if this can break that area, this could possibly be a nice little swing play. And the thing with swing trades is you want to give them room. So this one here, the highest 2203, I would set my stop down here. I would set my stop down there. So if this breaks this high, so 2203, let's say 2333. That's 70 cents. I would give that a 70-cent stop. Depending on my risk, that would determine how many shares I buy. And the way I do that, pull my calculator up real quick. So if I'm gonna risk $100 on that trade, I'll say $100 divided by 0.70. I need to buy 142 shares. So I would just round that off and say I'm gonna buy 140 shares. And that's how I would play that swing trade. I would play it breaking this high, giving it a wide stop, and then seeing how the trade works. And we look at the daily is flagging. The daily is flagging. So pretty good, looking pretty good. Let's see what that is, 2130, and there you go. So if you put it at the bottom of this flag, 2130, and you got 2303, you give it 75 cents worth of, 75 cents worth of room. So again, 100 divided by 0.75. Now I need to buy 133. So I round it down to 130 shares. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my swing ideas, and I'm gonna just drop this one down there. So I can keep that on my radar. Here's AR again. We just saw that one on the gap list. On the weekly, AR needs a pullback. On the daily, it doesn't quite look as bad, and it's somewhat breaking out of this little area right here. And we see it the same way on the 4-hour. So if you had got in here, put the stop down there to give it some room, put the same idea. But I'm gonna add that one as well. Doesn't look as good to me as AMX does. Look at ASC. Look at the 4-hour. Look at the 4-hour. That's a nice little 3-bar play. Right over an area of support. And so this one I had saw on another watch list. So that's why I dropped this line here. Breaking out over this prior pivot right here. So if it can hold, this has room back up to this high right here. So another one that I'll add to my swing ideas, and just kind of keep an eye on it. And you see, I put that there daily to try to tell myself to look at this watch list daily, because that's the only way that you can see that these plays are setting up. This one here is already setting up pretty nice though. This would be one that when it breaks this high, I would get in it. Let's see what the range is on that one. So that's just a 13-cent range on this candle. I would give it a little more room. I would say maybe triple it. Maybe go up to about 35 cents on that. And again, it would be the same thing. I would divide my risk by 35. That's how many shares I need to buy. 285 shares with a 30-cent risk. If it comes back, stops me out, I'll lose $100, and then I'll put my target twice that amount. So I need this to go 60 cents for me to make 2-to-1 on my money. And then I just need to see if this has 60 cents worth of room. So this is, let's say 560. So I need it to go to 620. Well, the next area You figure it may catch a little resistance here. That's at 614. So you can have that as your first target. And then the next area is 657. So this one here has enough room to be able to hit target with no problem. So definitely will be one that I'll be watching in the morning, especially to see how this recovers from this sell in the after hours. There was only 2,400 shares. So when you look at that 2,400 shares, and then you look at these candles here that got 125,000 shares, this is small fries in the grand scheme of things. Won't even probably see this when the market opens because it'll probably come back up. So that's definitely one that will be on my watch to see what it does. AWSI. This was that pullback right there that I talk about. So nice move. This had a pullback. What I would have did was came right here. The range, 38 cents. I'll give it extra wiggle room and say 50 cents. So I would need to buy 200 shares. That one's a fairly easy one to do. 200 shares, the high of that candle's 187. I needed to go $1, so I needed to go 287. Look at that. We already halfway there. Another 40 cents, we would have hit target on that move. So that would have been a good play. And again, that's seeing what it's doing on the daily, seeing what it's doing on the weekly, and then trying to find a pattern on the 4-hour and the hourly to get in. But one thing I did just catch that I do need to go back and change. So these numbers are going to change. I really don't like trading over the counter. So let's go change something here. Let's exclude all OTC. This is usually always turned on all my scans. So I don't know how it wasn't turned on that one. Let's scan this again. All right, that got rid of 17 of them. And it's going to get rid of that one that we just saw. That was a good setup, but I just don't like trading OTCs. For one, they charge you like $5, I think it is, in ThinkorSwim, in and out. So we'll remove that one. We'll remove that one out of there. And now we're good. We got 60. So we still have some good ideas. We still have some pretty good ideas. But let's keep going. BCTX. Look at that thing on the daily. Why couldn't we have done this back here when this had this breakout? Look at that nice breakout. And it's just ran. BLU. This was one that we watched a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago. If you look at the daily, you see that I had it in this channel right here. We see that once it broke over this moving average, that was a good entry. But do you notice one thing on all of these that's popping up on this watch list that are coming up from the scanner that we made? On the hourly, it's in an uptrend. 4 hours in an uptrend. The weekly is in an uptrend. And look at this one here, is crossing over right there to get our red, white, and blue stacked up. So I think this is a pretty good scanner. I think this is a pretty good scanner. As I tweaked it, I did find, if you remove the RSI is what's causing these to all be in this uptrend. I removed that and it didn't do the same thing. So I think this is going to be a pretty good scanner to keep an eye on. One thing, always want to get a pullback, or if it's already in the pullback, then we're good. But need that pullback to find the entry. Definitely don't want to be trying to buy it at the top unless it then consolidated some. But this is what I do on the weekend. I just go through. In the past, I had been using a different scanner to kind of find these ideas. Look at that nice 3-bar play on the weekly. That candle right there. Let's see. That's a 75 cents range candle. Let's give it some wiggle room and let's say $1. Let's say $1. So you got to buy 100 shares. The high of that candle is $13.65. So you needed to go $2. You needed to go $15.65. It's almost there in a week. What's this line at right there? $15.50. So this here will get you just below target, and it may run into a little resistance. You can either start scaling out right there, remove some of your shares, or if you're a little fidgety, go ahead and close it out if you think it's going to bump it down. But we see that this scanner is giving us some viable trades. This is the pullback that you be wanting, but look at that top and tail. Look at that top and tail on decent volume too. So this one might pull back a little bit more than we wanted to. And if you look at the hourly, it did. Because here, we wanted it to pull back to this area right here. It broke through it. So another one. Look at the weekly. This looks nice. This looks nice. Breaking over this moving average, which is getting it out of this downtrend. You got room up above. It's getting up over the 200 moving average for the first time in, I'm sure, a long time. We're in an uptrend on the micro time frames for swing plays. So we're over in an uptrend on the hourly 4-hour. This one is good. This is one that I will want to see a retest and hold of the 200. And I'll be looking to get into this one on a swing play. It's looking pretty good. Not too, don't really care for the hourly on this one. Plus this one gapped up, probably on some news. It's like a merger. So that one wouldn't really pique my interest. And you'll find some on the that's gonna pop up on here that does that one. This one gapped up as well. This thing gapped up from like 50 cents up to $3. This was a Chinese stock. That one wouldn't pique my interest. Decent pullback after hours. That's a decent pullback after hours. But just look at these patterns. While the market is sideways, it's choppy, it's going down days at a time, we see that there are stock that's out there that are moving good. We just gotta have the means to find them. And just based on this scanner, this one here is finding them. This was one that I was watching this week, CRK. Now I'm going to just go down and kind of just start clicking some of these because we'll be in the A through C's forever just looking at them. Another one, decent pullback, got a little bottom and tail there. That one's good. Let's see, NAT. Don't really look like it has volume, but it's got 13 million shares traded. Just a lot of little small candles. This one, we see the weekly is in a downtrend. Daily is in a downtrend. So those right there would give me that See, NRT, uptrend, 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 and an uptrend with the red, white, and blue stacked up. Look at that right there. See, I was watching that, don't you? This was on another one of my watch list. But look at that move. That thing has gone $3 almost since the first of the month. Nice. Weekly is in a downtrend. Daily is in a downtrend, but it's breaking this trend right here. Hourly in the 4-hour and up trends. So all up trends. But man, I've been looking at these things for 30 minutes. I can get carried away. But I think you can see the potential, and that you can see that even though the market is a little choppy, let's look at the SPY real quick. Let's see how the SPY fares up on the 4 charts. Choppy hourly, fairly flat 4-hour, flat weekly. It's doing good all the way up until the new year. And look at the daily. The daily is flat. So look at the Q. Don't be the same because they pretty much trade the same way. Hourly is in a downtrend. So short term, we're in a downtrend. Flat on this one. Downtrend on the weekly. Flat on the daily. So we see that the market is fairly down or flat, while these stocks that's on our swing scan are looking good. So hopefully you can get some use out of it. See something that may be able to make that a little better. Let's talk about it. That's what I'm trying to do with this channel. Let's get some conversation started, especially if you're a new trader such as myself, because I'm always up for new ideas. They may not work for what I'm doing, but I'm always open to hearing them, because you never know. Somebody else may have that little tiny tweak that could make your trading plan that much better. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm right at my 30-minute time limit. I didn't think I would be talking this long. And look to see you in the market this week. All right. Peace.